Joining me this morning is Kyle Braun, who is the president of the Staffing and Recruitment Division of Career Builder. Thanks for coming in.
Great to be here, Fritz.
Now, Kyle, you have a survey that you just released all about hiring plans for the second half of the year. Tell me a little bit about it.
Sure. Well, hiring plans for the second half of the year are going to look a lot like 2015. In fact, according to the survey, 50% of companies that responded plan to bring on full-time permanent headcount. That's up slightly from 2015, about 1%, 49% last year. Part-time hiring is about 29% of firms plan to bring on part-time workers. And then if you look at companies that plan to bring on either temporary or contract workers in the second half of the year, about a third of companies, which is in line with what we saw last year.
So pretty even from last year, not up, not down, just pretty much level.
Yeah, we don't see any major peaks or valleys in hiring for the rest of this year. We see pretty consistent and stable growth.
Now, an interesting number that was in there was the number of people that are in the job force that are thinking of changing jobs. What is that?
Sure, so 23% of workers indicate that they plan to search for a new opportunity in Q3 or Q4 of this year. And
almost a quarter.
Almost a quarter, yeah, and that's really a sign that people are becoming more encouraged about opportunities that exist in the marketplace.
Now, specifically when we're talking about employers' plans, what about wages?
So I think that that's going to be the bigger trend that we see in the back half of this year. 53% of companies surveyed plan to increase wages for their current employees. A lot of that is a result of the competitive nature of the current labor market. And then if you look at companies that plan to increase salaries for employees coming into the organization, 39% said that they will raise wages for new employees.
Interesting. So this could actually play into maybe a little inflation fear there, but we'll see. Now, as far as the hot areas that those employees are being in competition for, what about the industries and the jobs?
Sure. The industries that continue to be big drivers of growth in terms of jobs, you continue to see technology, information technology, healthcare, professional services, financial services. So we see strong growth there. We'll see a lot more growth in the back half of this year in those particular areas. We'll also see a lot of hiring. In fact, 1 out of 6 companies said that they plan to bring on recruiters in the back half of this year to help them staff up for positions related to cloud technology, to mobile technology.
Big buzzwords.
Exactly. Social marketing functions within organizations, accounting and finance. So those are all areas where there's a lot of demand, and companies are actually going to bring on recruiters to help them bring talent into their organization in those areas.
Well, finally, now it's not just great news all across the country. I mean, there must be pockets that are doing really well and some that maybe aren't. What about regionally?
Sure. So the regions that we're seeing the greatest growth in right now, the West, we're seeing a lot of growth. The South, we're seeing a lot of growth. Midwest is a little slower in terms of job growth in the second half of this year, and Northeast is pretty much in line with what we saw in 2015. But the West is up about 5% if you look at the number of companies that plan to add permanent headcount in the second half of the year.
Kyle, thanks for joining us this morning.
Absolutely, Fritz. Thanks for being here.